I'm so glad that we became friends, Mr. Gator. Look at that view. What's going on, everybody? It's the Indoor Hunter, and it has been nearly 2 years since the last time that I've given a public trophy lodge tour, and I figure it's about time we change that, especially considering it's about that time of year when Expansive Worlds announces a new map. They haven't yet, but I've got a strong feeling they're going to, and obviously with the potential for new trophy additions, we need to go see what we currently have. And we're going to be starting out in what is arguably my best lodge, and that is because it contains my great ones. This, of course, being the Leighton Lakes DLC, the newest addition to the trophy lodges. And for those of you that don't know, this is completely free. There's definitely some caveats to it. It is species specific. It can only hold animals from Hirschfelden and Leighton Lakes, with the exception, of course, of this plaque. But I digress. Again, I don't want to get too crazy detailed about the animals in here. Really, the focal points, of course, are the great one whitetail, accompanied by a gold melanistic, and we have a gold piebald as well. And then we've got the great one moose, which, as I've stated previously, I was a little bit disappointed in the grind for this because it ended so soon. I guess I am kind of thankful for that. I'm glad we're still not grinding for him in hindsight, but I was at the time just a little bit disappointed. He happens to be my favorite rack type and fur type for the great one moose, so I'm super excited to have him in the lodge. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good on that fireplace in my opinion, but really there's nothing else interesting in my opinion going on here. There's a lot of filler going on. We've got a gold black bear. I have a diamond black bear that I think may be in one of my other lodges. As I said, I'm terrible at managing them, but we'll find those along the way. This lodge is the one that started it all. It's near and dear to my heart. This was actually the very first DLC that I'd ever purchased for the Hunter Call of the Wild, and that's why it's kind of a train wreck, to be honest, because I played the game in the beginning days like it was Pokemon. I had to catch them all, and whenever I was on a DLC map, I never knew if I would ever see that species again, so I would taxidermy it when and where I could, and so you've got all kinds of randomness going on like this. There are a few rooms that I tried to doctor up and hone towards certain species or regions, but in the end I just kind of toss stuff in here. Again, there is definitely a mixture of diamonds, rares, and whatnot, but there's also a lot of weird wonky stuff that I have no idea in hindsight why I even wanted to taxidermy them. Like, we've got some little teeny tiny silver red deer. Have no idea why this is in here. That was well over 3 years ago. And then, of course, we've got a non-diamond line hanging out on the table. This comes from a glitch that was in the game that is either still in it or they haven't fixed it. I don't know. I honestly can't remember, and if you guys do or know about this, please let me know, because I'm curious and want to see what else we can do with it. But it's been so long since I've placed this trophy. That was September of 2020, well over 3 years ago. I can't for the life of me remember how to do this, and it's pretty cool. I'm glad that was an option at the time. Really, in this room, there's nothing crazy or special. We got a select few rares. There are no diamonds in this room, with the exception, of course, of these 3 axis deer, but I don't really... They're not... In my opinion, they don't count, because this was a time when Parque Fernando was extremely broken, and basically every group of axis deer had a diamond with it, and I kind of got crazy with it, and I got like 10 of these things, so... Everything else in here is from that period of time in which, when I saw it, I basically taxidermied it, which is why it took me absolutely forever to get any type of money. You can see a wild boar over here. Again, the same story. This entire lodge basically is just jank thrown together. Nothing real crazy going on. We don't start getting organized until this room here. All of these whitetail along this wall are diamonds. I have so many diamond whitetail that, truth be told, I will continue to taxidermy them, but I'm probably not going to display them anywhere unless, of course, they're 270 plus, because, well, I have too many. This one's really cool. We've got a melanistic mountain lion eating down on a black-tailed deer. Again, that's one of those kind of weird multi-mounts where they don't share a map, but they can share a multi-mount. I'm cool with it, but maybe that is a spoiler to some future content, perhaps. We've got a diamond lion. I actually just shot this a few days ago, actually, so this one's fairly new. I had no idea where to put it. I basically was streaming, wanted to show everybody me putting it in the lodge, so here he stands. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. That being said, way back in the day, I wanted to create an African-themed lodge, which is, well, this little room here, and we obviously quickly outgrew it, but really the outside of the diamond lions and Cape buffalo, the only real thing that stands out to me are the melanistic jackal and the the albino jackal. We come into this room. This is, at the time, my diamond room. That obviously got quickly outgrown. The majority of the animals in here, with the exception of the rares, are diamonds. This just so happens to be my very first rare to have ever been in Hunter Call of the Wild, this albino Roosevelt elk, and of course it's being attacked by a gray mountain lion. Again, I don't know why these are allowed in the multi-mounts. I'm not complaining, it's really cool, but it is weird because they don't share a map at all. This just how happens to actually be a max weight, max score spotted axis deer. Pretty happy with that. We got a piebald diamond axis, a diamond caribou. Again, just kind of run the mill. Now, this is my only super rare, at least what I consider to be a super rare. That is, of course, a leucistic Western Cape Ricale diamond, scoring out at 4.6. And then everything else is kind of basic. Let's move on to the next. We are now in Safari Lodge number 2, which is my rare lodge. There's nothing in here that isn't a rare or uncommon fur type. Starting off, of course, with the fairly recent melanistic alligator gotten on Mississippi Acres, accompanied with the piebald female. Something that I did notice while recording this, the size difference between the male and female character models. I thought that they were all the same. I figured they were generic, and they're not. They're actually different sized. That was something interesting that I did notice. But moving on to the next room, nothing really special. We do have one of my larger actually, I think this may be my only melanistic moose. Pretty happy with him. And then back in the back, we have a leucistic black buck, followed by a piebald pronghorn. This cute little guy. To be honest, the Siberian musk deer, I really like that piebald look. One of my more favorite, outside of moose, one of my favorite piebalds. Again, just kind of a random mix and match. I don't like not taxidermying rares that I get, so I just kind of toss them in here. If they're particularly special, I'll obviously move them around and shelf them to where they're presented a little bit better. We've got a diamond Eurasian lynx here, that is normal, and then it is fighting a melanistic lynx, which is actually fairly rare. But what's funny, how I got him, I obviously wasn't targeting it whatsoever. Just happened to be hunting Revetuli Coast, looked down a road, and there it sat. Long story short, here he sits in the trophy lodge. We've got a piebald moose. This was actually fairly recently. And then this guy, I have absolutely no recollection. This is a female albino water buffalo. I don't remember shooting this at all. So that's one of those kind of bonuses. I'm flipping through all of my trophy managements. Found this. I'm like, I don't remember seeing that guy. But we come in here, again, just kind of run of the mill. There's nothing super rare. We do have a melanistic mule deer. I do feel like melanistics are somewhat rare depending on what species they are, especially when it comes to whitetail mule deer, stuff like that. Do have a leucistic Merriam turkey. That one's pretty cool. Been after one of those for quite some time. This was fairly recently as well. This was actually shot during one of Rick's, shout out Rick's, and I's competitions. This is just kind of an uncommon fur type bobcat, but I do really like the way they look. Excuse me. The, of course, indomitable melanistic whitetail. I really hope to one day have some diamonds of either, whether it's albino, melanistic, I don't care. I want a rare whitetail diamond. Don't have one of those yet. Someday, hopefully. And then really, I think the rarest thing on this wall is our blonde mallard. I'm not too sure, just because I don't focus too much on mallards, how rare that actually is, but anything compared on this wall, that's the rarest I've got. Just some uncommon grouse and pheasant, and that's really about it for this lodge. I don't have anything super duper crazy as far as rares go, and if I do have any super rares, they're going to be in the lodge. Ooh, I just about forgot about this fella. This is our melanistic moose, along with a beige gemsbok, or how it's actually pronounced, gemsbok. And that's not a joke. I actually Google it. That's how it's pronounced, is gemsbok. This isn't a GIF versus GIF thing. It's actually pronounced gemsbok. Had no idea. I'm going to continue saying gemsbok. It is what it is. But we do have a melanistic plains bison in here, which these guys are actually really hard to differentiate between normal and melanistic. So when you're out there, just kind of check the fur types, make sure. It's kind of like a blonde lion versus a light brown lion. They're really hard to see the difference between the two. But again, there's nothing else really too crazy in here. Got a blue bobcat. I don't know how rare those are, but nothing super duper rare. Outside, I would say the rarest in this lodge is probably the melanistic lynx. Everything else is, I would consider, very much doable as long as you hammered them enough. If I were to consider any lodge to be my main one, this would be it. It's full of nothing but diamonds. However, it is a little bare bones simply because I haven't taken the time to go back and manage some of my other diamonds and place them in here. Of course, I do have a whitetail only lodge, so there's none of those displayed here. We do have a fairly large Rocky Mountain elk that I'm pretty proud of. It is a 504, I believe. Yeah, 504.3. I do have bigger ones, but those are on the PC account. Anyway, I like him. Wouldn't mind having more of those. Got a couple diamond lions, and of course, we do have a whitetail in here. Where'd you sneak in here from? 257. He's not that big, but we do have a light brown diamond turkey, which is pretty cool. The light brown isn't that rare, but the fact that he is a diamond does make him rare. And then of course, blue wildebeest. Wildebeest right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to get an easy diamond or your first diamond, I would highly suggest targeting these because they're so easy to find. They make diamond way more commonly than every other species that I've seen. So if you're looking for that, go to Africa, set your time to blue willis drink time, and you're gonna have a successful hunt. But outside of that, there's nothing really special in here. There's no super rares or anything like that. Just kind of basic run of the mill. Like I said, I need to go back and manage and actually put some of the trophies that are my other lodges in here to kind of consolidate. But at the same time, I do like having going back to those other lodges and looking at those. And I don't know, I'm terrible at trophy management in this game, and this is one of those things that kind of gives me anxiety about it. I love the ability to put trophies in the trophy lodge, but ain't nobody got time for that. And last but not least, we find ourselves in my one and only Spring Creek Manor Lodge, which holds literally nothing but whitetail. This all comes from the whitetail grind. I had so many of these things that I got tired of placing them anywhere. I figured it'd be kind of cool to have a whitetail only lodge, so this is it. Again, nothing special. None of these guys are super rares or anything like that. I just have them posted pretty much anywhere and everywhere that I can have whitetail. It's just nothing but whitetail. And truth be told, I actually like this. I'm going to continue adding to this just because I do have more than I will ever need as far as whitetail go. But yeah, it's kind of fun going through here and just seeing all these. After a while, that's not true. I was gonna say after a while it's not as fun, but it is. Every time I see a diamond whitetail, I get just as excited as the first time I ever saw a diamond whitetail. And that kind of holds true for me for really everything in the game. Still, after all this time, after hundreds of diamonds, I still get that excitement and wonder every time I see a max weight, max level diamond potential animal. I still get that heartbreak when it ends up being a troll, whether it's a whitetail or a wildebeest. I don't care what it is. This is what makes the game fun for me. It's what makes me keep coming back for more, and I hope in the future that they add more DLCs. Like I said before, I'm all about the Trophy Lodge life, and I'm really curious what you guys think. Maybe you've got some tips and tricks for me as far as how I should set this up in the future, what you do for your management, because like I said, I've got so many trophies that it's a bit of a headache. Any help on that is very much appreciated. That being said, I think that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Quick editor's note, if you guys made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments below. Before we actually end this, I would like to ask you if you're interested in a more in-depth Trophy Lodge tour where I actually go through and explain some of the different animals and stuff instead of like a quick run through like this was. Please let me know. Maybe we can make that happen in the future.